What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Split Decision Combat Sports. It's me, Idaho Fight Fan, here to do another live chat with the people. How's everybody doing today? We got a couple of questions that the viewers have asked. I'm going to put up a post every Sunday-ish in the community tab. You guys can ask questions. I'll put up also like my Instagram if you guys want to ask questions there. But yeah, what's going on, everybody? A few things I want to talk about just straight, first is that we're going to change the way we're doing the podcast just a little bit. You may have noticed that like on Sunday we usually do our our breakdown of like how we did on picks and all that stuff, recap of the weekend in general. I think we're going to start doing that just as a short version on our Tuesday show. And then on Tuesday, we'll start doing our preview of the weekend first thing, just because we need to kind of do our preview as early as possible in the week to get as much traction on those videos. We used to do them on Thursdays, but I think from now on, like doing it on Tuesday is going to be our best option. Let's say what's up to everybody in the chat really quick. What is up, Sean? Good to see you. What's the story about wanting refs to be drug tested for? I don't know. I'll check into it. We'll kind of pull it up and see if we can find it. What is up, Degenerate Danny? Says, I need to watch more MMA podcasting, seeing how bad I did on Nerd. Dude, look, we're going to have a losers round. We're going to have a winners round. So there's going to be more opportunities. Just for right now, I want to see who's down to actually do MMA Nerd and just get as many people as I can in there, because I need a lot of people to participate in MMA Nerd. And then I can kind of start matching people up who have lost. But I think as many fresh matchups as possible for right now will be the best thing. But yeah, certainly you'll have another opportunity. So don't worry about it at all. Thank you so much for being on MMA Nerd, my friend. You cut your hair, yes. Thank you to my sister. Appreciate that. Yeah, cut the hair. It was just getting... Somebody said I had a Jufro. So, yeah. Dane, you were drunk, miscombobulated. Yeah, 100% rain check. I wanted to play you, Dane, and have a second round of Peoria trivia. Oh, gosh, can you imagine? That'd be so boring. Herb won't pass. What is up, Dirty Hippo? Dude, first time I've seen you in one of these. This is our second iteration of it, but glad to see you. A good friend of mine. How can Bellator be dead when it was never alive in the first place? Ooh, shots fired. They were talking about the ref, Hank Matt. Yeah, what's his name? The guy with the crazy beard. I'll pull that up for you right now. Let's check out refs drug testing. Let's see. MMA. See if we can pull that up. I see if you can send me the article, I'll look into it, but I'm not seeing anything in the news at the moment. Yeah, I've never heard that. But yeah, send me the article. Yeah, Beltran. Yeah, thank you. Coker era Bellator was dope. I mean, Bellator has always been like that B tier league, right? That just... I mean, I didn't mind Bellator when it was around. But yeah. Anyway, but yeah, so we do have a couple of questions that people have asked, not very many, but yeah, I guess we should just start with Bellator being dead. So this comes from Ariel Helwani, obviously, right? What doesn't come from Ariel Helwani these days? But this is just a story that I had heard just prior to starting up this live chat today. So actually, I think it'd be best if we just kind of read through this article here. This is a Yahoo Sports article. So it says Bellator is dead. PFL implementing several major changes to the 2025 season. The end of Bellator was imminent after PFL acquired it late in 2023. Uncrowns Ariel Helwani. Who the hell? What's uncrowned? Bellator is officially dead. It will be known as the PFL Championship Series, featuring title fights for PFL divisional titles. Okay, so right there, it sounds like instead of Bellator, they're going to do the Championship Series. We kind of already saw that when they had the Bellator champs fighting PFL champs. Dirty Hippo says Hiwani just likes to make stuff up and then hopes it comes true. But I've also heard, like, since PFL had acquired Bellator, just in the way in which they didn't actually pay any money for it. And they just basically, the deal was, hey, run this for 1 year, and then you can kind of do whatever you want with it. So I've heard this being the thing. The weirdest thing about it is that Usman Nurmagomedov is scheduled to defend his belt against Paul Hughes coming up in the next PFL Championship Series, right? So does that mean he's just the last Bellator champ, and then when he defends his belt, it'll become the PFL Championship Series belt? But and I wouldn't really be bringing this up if I didn't think like Hawani was telling the truth. So I do think that he is correct right now. Hawani says right now, I can tell you on Monday, January 13th, 1:20 p.m. Eastern time, Bellator is dead. Bellator, as we know, is no more. You will not see any more Bellator events. Those titles will separate from PFL's traditional season format, where 6 divisional champs are crowned throughout 4 fights in 1 calendar year. So it's sounding like, and this makes more sense to me, right? It's sounding like instead of like having regular PFL as we've known it, like with the tournament, there'll be like a tournament and then the championship series. I mean, you would hope that like I win the tournament, then I get a chance to, I'd be the number 1 contender for the championship series, I guess. It's interesting to like see if they'll run tournament shows and PFL championship series events like alongside each other. I also think this could create a problem where like, how many championship series events are they going to have a year, right? Like, are we going to have the same issue where people aren't getting enough fights? And then what happens to the Bellator roster, I guess, is the most pressing question. I guess a lot of them have already been in limbo, but, it's just kind of who really knows. What is up, Shiloh? He says, Hawani got to have the inside scoop on everything, being the most decorated MMA journalist of all time. Yeah, 100%. I mean, I don't take everything he says, like, and I don't even listen to his show anymore, but this is just like news that I had heard just prior to firing up, setting up the stream. So it was definitely interesting to me to hear about this. But yeah, let's read on. Uncrowned confirmed this. I don't know what uncrowned is. Confirmed this past Wednesday that the previous $1 million prize money for a seasonal tournament victory will now be $500,000 starting with the 2025 season. The $500,000 prize comes in addition to fighter-specific contracts. Whether or not PFL tournament win guarantees a title shot against these new PFL champions is unknown at the time of writing. How these new separate PFL champions will be crowned is also unknown. PFL Europe and MENA aren't affected by these changes. PFL's first event of the year will presumably see the final Bellator fight in MMA history. Reigning lightweight champion Usman Nurmagomedov will defend his title against Paul Hughes in Dubai on what's currently Road to Dubai Championship Series. PFL announced Monday that U.S. viewers will be able to watch blah, blah, blah. The PFL season is expected to feature 6 to 8 weight divisions, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, that's pretty much the article. What do you guys think about that? Like, because to me, that's kind of a better format in a way, I guess, right? I don't really like the season personally. Idaho Skatesman is the most decorated MMA journalist of all time. Change your mind. I can't. That's funny. No, there's no way I'm a journalist. I haven't written a single article about anything. But I don't know, man. I mean, I've never been a big fan of the tournament. I'm a fan of fighters getting paid. right? So obviously that's cool. And still $500,000 like payout by the end of the year is still not too shabby. My only concern with that particular format is just like, how often are these champions fighting? And as the article stated, it's like, how are the rankings going to go if you have presumably the top contenders in the tournament already? Um, I don't know, but I think that this is a step in the right direction. I'm never a fan of like having your product spread out so much, right? Like obviously, the UFC, you've got Contender Series, you've got Road to the UFC, and you've got the UFC proper, right? But like, it's all pretty clear, like, hey, this is all ending with you getting in the UFC, right? And same with One. One has their Friday fights, and they've got their regular fight nights, and then they've got their numbered events. So it's like, how do you even get into One? Because on on the Friday morning cards, every once in a while they'll be like, "Hey, you've got a One championship contract." So it's like, okay, I guess. But again, it's just having the product like scattered about with MENA and Europe, and then now you've got the tournament and the championship series. It just seems really convoluted. Um, so yeah, again, just how are these people actually getting title fights? Hopefully, it's like they'll use it to their advantage and make the biggest fights possible, right? Usman or Magomedov versus Paul Hughes is a fantastic match. Don't know how big it is as far as like who's really looking forward to Usman or Magomedov's next title defense. I can't speak for everybody, but Usman's rather boring. I mean, they didn't do him any favors by putting him in the Chicago cards and him getting booed out of the arena every time he ever fought or headline a card. So elbows in Grand Prix style to win 500K plus fight bonuses. One night tournament would be sick, but all these professional MMA orgs are cowards. They won't do one night tournaments anymore. What is up, Hank the Tank? He says the final evolution is getting rid of the tournaments altogether. Dude, I'm right there with you. I would love that. I mean, I think that we're all kind of in agreement. Like the season tournament is dumb. It's dumb, but it's also like, hey, this guy won what is it, 4 or 5 fights throughout the season, and now here he is in the tournament final, right, to be crowned the champ and win the prize. Like that's kind of cool. But I'm with Dane, and I think this is just coming from like old school kickboxing fans, right? Like K1 one night tournament. Like that's the kind of tournament I want to see. I don't really care about a whole dragged out season. And even when Bellator did their Grand Prix, like those are convoluted as well. So yeah, Final Evolution is getting rid of tournaments altogether. I would like to see it, but one night tournaments all I care about. But I guess I understand if you're gonna do some sort of tournament. But Shiloh says, "Who cares how many people actually watch PFL compared to the UFC? I want to see those stats." Then Hank says, "Modern sports organizations, MMA and beyond, are scared of statistics and rating now. They don't want to admit their own failures." I mean, to say PFL has half the viewership of the UFC is probably being generous. But I mean, let's be honest, dude. Like PFL had a fantastic year last year as far as inside of the cage. Like the fights were good, the events were good. So I'm watching. I know that I know Hank's watching. Like we're watching. Hank's done fight companions for PFL. You know what I'm saying? So like the fights are fine. It's just I think that them getting rid of Bellator and somewhat I don't even know if it cuts costs, but I think it's a better way to I think it's a step in the right direction, but who knows? Who really knows? But yeah, you do bring up a good point there. Like who really cares? Thoughts on the BKFC $25 million tournament? So I don't really know anything about it. It's just kind of been rumored at this point, and nothing's really booked. And I don't know if it's a one night tournament or not. If so, count me in. I just said I love one night tournaments, dude. Um, so yeah, when we get more developments on that, you better believe we're gonna talk about it more. I'd be interested to see who's actually in the tournament. You would imagine that like $25 million gonna bring some fighters out of the woodwork. Got a dash later, Hank. Although channels that stream get 100%, you get decent views on PFL shows. 2 live PFL events here in Vegas. Yeah, and by all accounts, they were good. So I mean, PFL is not the worst thing ever to happen in combat sports, right? It's just mismanaged, and people like to crap on PFL, but the truth of the matter is that we need more professional MMA leagues. We need more. And ones that aren't just considered regional, right? It'll be interesting to see what the GFL does. It sounds like it's Bellator on crack with all of the old school fighters that are being signed. But I Chad Mendez recently moved here to my state. I installed his windows, and he told me straight up that the GFL gave him. He just signed the biggest contract he's ever signed in his professional career to fight for the GFL. Again, the team format thing is stupid. Just put on good fights. That's all I want. And maybe that's not enough to be successful inside the game, but it just seems like there's always some stupid gimmick. I mean, that's why I like Coker era, like Moody said. It's like I like Coker era Bellator. It was just putting on fights. They weren't always good, but I think they made some weird choices, like headliner wise, right? Like I just brought up, like Usman defending his belt in Chicago and getting booed out, like Usman getting booed out of the arena every time he ever fought. Just such a bummer. But GFL got to have that NFL money. I've heard our NIL money. I've heard that they have a big investor, but Elite XC Strike, yeah. Like, and I was never around for Elite XC and Strikeforce. I do know that Elite XC tied most of their success to Kimbo Slice, and there was that's pretty much what tanked their company when they had Seth Bertruzzelli fight him. But yeah, I mean, like I said, man, I just want to see good fights. I don't care what it is. And to me, man, like PFL has put on good fights. It's just the gimmick part. I guess I understand you got to do something different, but too different, and then you kind of just lose fans' interest, right? But yeah, let's go on to just a couple of these questions. I only had 3 questions asked to me in the community tab. You guys can ask questions in the chat. I'll answer them. But we'll get to Cool Breeze. He had a question. He said, "Do you think Turkey will buy up MMA promotions like boxing?" So I mean, that's a loaded question, right? Because obviously, I mean, when you say Turkey, Al Sheik, him himself, right? Like him buying MMA promotions. Is it Turkey Al Sheik buying the promotion, or is it the foreign wealth fund that Saudi Arabia has? So if we're talking about the foreign wealth fund, I got news for you guys. The UAE and Saudi Arabia already own plenty of soccer teams. So as far as them buying MMA promotions, yeah, I mean, sure, why not? I don't know what ones. Like, I don't think they'll buy the UFC. I mean, and already, like, look at what Qatar does. They fund one championship. They funded or Saudi Arabia has funded UFC shows to be held in their country. So you already have that going on. But as far as them buying up promotions, I don't see why not. I don't know what promotions they would buy and like what ones would be even worth buying. But yeah, I mean, I could totally see that happening. But Turkey himself, I don't think so. But yes, the Saudi Foreign Wealth Fund, and I mean, Turkey Al-Sheikh is the minister of entertainment, so I'm sure he would be heavily involved in that. Just even with the PFL events that have been held in Saudi Arabia, like the shows aren't like the fights are fine, but the crowd's not really into it. So I don't know. Turkey Al-Sheikh seems really focused on boxing, but give it a couple years and we'll see what he does with MMA. What is up, Chummy Boy? He says, "Man, I wish we had different options other than one for Muay Thai in the international stage as well." I'm right there with you, man. The problem is that Muay Thai, like, I mean, there was just last week there was two regional American promotions that had Muay Thai fights on them, but nobody watched it. It's $30 pay per views. I wasn't gonna do it because nobody was gonna watch it. I was thinking about covering it, but I was like, dude, there's no link. Like nobody's gonna watch this. I mean, and you've got. I feel like there's somebody else that does international Muay Thai fights, but I really don't know, man. Yeah, I mean, but also you gotta think like one's Muay Thai is not even Muay Thai. It's not traditional Muay Thai. It's like a whole different sport. Which I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm saying one Muay Thai is better, but it just and I don't know what Chhatri. I mean, the thing is that the Thai government gives Chhatri money to put those events on, right? So I don't think that you'll ever see that go away, which is somewhat good and bad. But bring back lion fight, yeah, 100%. I wish I could have gone to a lion fight event with you. Dane was actually at their last event ever. I think Ace of 10 Pal fought on the card. One Muay Thai is the only other visually appealing combat sport besides BKFC for me personally. Yeah, I stopped caring about BKFC a while ago, but for their big cards like Knucklemania, you better bet I'll be watching. But some reason BKFC doesn't do it for me anymore. Same with Karate Combat. I have had a lot of people tell me that Karate Combat is getting really good lately, so maybe I'll have to check one out. But that man took Dana's hand and walked him around like a show dog. Ultimate power move. Hey, money talks. Money talks, right? No, I mean RWS not for everyone. And Thai Fight is Cannes crushing city, dude. Thai Fight is awesome though. Like hand wraps, I love Thai Fight. It's just Thai Fight's hard because it's on Sunday at 5 in the morning for me, and the show goes on for like 2 hours. So I thought BKFC gonna do Muay Thai for a bit. They did one super fight and then stopped. Yeah, that's right. They did Bukau and Sanchai. Dude, I mean, look. I mean, let's talk about the pay scale in combat sports, right? Like, you've got boxing at the top. MMA is second. Kickbox. You probably have like BJJ and kickboxing making comparable money, and then it's Muay Thai at the bottom. So, like, how many people want to sign up for Muay Thai? I mean, and that's the thing is there is, I think it's MGP is a European Muay Thai promotion, but there's just not a lot of options for dates, right? Like they do one show a month, maybe one show every 2 months. Anytime I can actually watch BKFC live, I will watch, but I barely catch them anymore. Yeah. CJI was lit last year. I can't wait for the next one. Oh yeah, and that's the thing is, Craig Jones just making it make sense for these guys to compete. They're getting paid. Oh shit, they're getting paid a lot. The next question about Turkey Al-Sheikh again. Does Dana sell his soul to Turkey Al-Sheikh? This is from Sean Moody. And does he sell his soul to Turkey Al-Sheikh? I mean, I don't know what that means. Look, I mean, there's already those rumors or whatever that they're going to start their own boxing league with Turkey Al-Sheikh's money. But, oh, fuck, there you go. That sucks. Oh, come on, Cartman. All right, well, he's out for the rest of the show, I guess. I don't know what that means. I can't really answer that question in good faith. And then Pulse Reloaded. This is our last question from the community tab. And by the way, I'll post another one in the community tab. Hopefully, we get some more questions to answer. Do you believe all these boxers turned Muslim are legit? Or are they hopping on the Islam fad? I'm presuming he means to like be in better standing with Turkey Al Sheikh, who's promoting a lot of the big boxing events. I mean, I know for a fact that just probably the most known fighter to change his religion recently is Gervonta Davis. And I've seen him like wearing a cross chain, after turning Muslim. That's kind of strange, right? I don't really want to comment on like if I think a fighter turning Muslim is just a fad. I mean, look at what happened to Muhammad Ali, right? Cassius Clay, he turned Muslim, changed his name. So this is not anything new. This is something that's happened for a long time now. I think I'll just kind of leave it at that. Craig took on the best female grappler last year. Now this year he's doing Shark Tank on all other female grapplers. Yeah. Last year we took the best. This year we take on the Craig Jones is a menace. That guy's a menace. But yeah, and guys, if you have any more questions, please ask them. But we're gonna move into just kind of the weekend look ahead. Let's go over to Tapology and just see kind of what's. And if you have any questions related to 311, let me know. We're gonna go look on Tapology, and you know what? We should probably check out Grabaka Hitman. If you guys don't know about Grabaka Hitman, maybe you do. It's Kaposa on Twitter. You gotta go check his website out because, and I'll show it to you right now. This is one of the best sources. If there's not a fight on Tapology's Fight Center for the week, then Grabaka Hitman has it. And he'll even put up a way to actually watch said event. So, like I said, this is like one of the best sources for everything. And it looks like he hasn't actually updated it just yet. So, I'm sure he will, though, here within the next day. Let's go look at Tapology's Fight Center really quick. Okay, so I've been seeing these like cup of omps, cup of this. I don't know what it's, some MMA cup. Thursday you've got UAE Warriors. I don't know if you guys have ever watched UAE Warriors. It's a decent promotion. Not the best, but they've got some stuff going on over there. I mean, look at this: 14-6, 15-2, 5-0, 6-2, 3-0, 4-0. Debuting fighter 1-1, 4-0, 3-3, 8-1-1. I mean, not the worst records on this card. Got a women's fight. 0-2, geez. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 fights on the card. Not bad. You got nothing to do Thursday in the morning, afternoon time. Check out UAE Warriors on Thursday. Let's see what else we got. Not too much going on this weekend. Hollywood Fight Night. I think that'll actually. Oh no, that's on it's a boxing card. That'll be on UFC Fight Pass. Alaska Fighting Championship sounds terrible. Okay, you've got an Octagon card at 5 a.m. on YouTube. Jeez. Octagon with a C. This is, I think they're Kazakhstan. Mm-hmm. What do we got? 1, 2. Okay. For some reason, they don't have the card up on Tapology, but we got Octagon. Decent promotion. I haven't watched a lot of their events myself, but I know that they're a pretty good promotion. One promotion that actually No Chill put me onto was this JCK from China. Check this out. JCK Kings. He said that this is like his favorite promotion. Shout out to No Chill. We got a title fight for the featherweight championship in the main event. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 fights. So that'll be a short card. That's at 6 a.m. That might be something we'll do if I'm not doing anything on Friday. But yeah, No Chill's telling me, hey, this JCK is really good. So I might have to check it out. Oh my god, Tapology is just fucking tripping. Come on. All right, here we go. Okay, now we're getting into Saturday here. There's Aries FC. I believe they're French. Jungle Fight. But see, this is the problem. That's at 1. Jungle Fight's at 5. UFC 311's at 6. So that's going to pretty much overshadow anything else going on Saturday. Let's see what Sunday is bringing us. We got Sparta. I've heard of Sparta before. Out of Denver. Speaking of BKFC, they have an event. And now this is a fight night, so I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell me what BKFC fight night is about. I got it pulled up here in the other tab, but yeah. These are 5x2. I mean, there's quite a few fights on it. Nobody's got a record that I can see, and I don't recognize any names on it. Well, it'll be late. I mean, this UFC 311 card is going to go on pretty late itself. So, Shamrock FC, I've heard of. I thought they were on Fight Pass, but you've got Shudo, but I think that's on Unext, so you can't watch it. Always wanted to check out what a Shudo card was about. Yeah, that's it. So let's go ahead and just quickly look over this UFC 311 card, because I don't even know all the fights on the card. So I'll give you you guys can tell me your early predictions too for what do you think is going to happen on this card. So obviously it's headlined by Islam and Sarukian too, but let's start at the bottom here. So yeah, obviously Johnny Walker did pull out of his fight with Bogdan Guskov. That would have been a banger. So you got Tagir Olenbekov opening up the card against Clay Carpenter. Not a bad fight. Tercios taking on Sopai. I'm going to probably fade Tercios in that one. Wasn't Sopai the guy that got kneed, or did he have a sick knee knockout? You got Rinya Nakamura versus Muin Gafarov. Pretty sick fight at bantamweight. Carol Hosa, Aline Perez. If Aline Perez, she's guaranteed to twerk. Grant Dawson versus CDF. That is a banger of a fight. That is a banger of a fight. I love that fight. And look at that. You've got people ranked, lightweights in the top 20 and top 15 bantamweights there. So not bad. Zach Reese versus Azmat Bekoev. I'd have never heard of this person in my life. I think he's late notice. Jelton Almeida versus Sergey Spivak. Fantastic heavyweight grappler's delight fight. Peyton Talbot, Rayoni Barcelos. Sick fight for Peyton Talbot. Okay, Guskov did get a replacement, and some guy named Billy Elikana. That'll be ugly. Kevin Holland versus RDR, dude. That's a sick fight. I don't know who I'm gonna go for in that one. Oh my gosh. And it is a pick'em. Oh my gosh, dude. That is a sick fight. I mean, before RDR got destroyed by Malakin, and obviously if he never got destroyed by Malakin 2 times, he wouldn't even be in the UFC. I would have picked RDR, but this is the kind of fight you think Kevin Holland could win. I do feel like Kevin Holland's get-up game isn't the best, and I think he will be willing to play jiu-jitsu with RDR. So I think I'll probably pick RDR, honestly. Beneil Dariush versus Renato Moicano. I think Beneil Dariush is going to get stopped. I probably pick Renato Moicano by knockout in that one. Beneil Dariush has pretty good jiu-jitsu. So, Prochazka Hill. Whatever happens in that fight, that's like the fight of like low IQ light heavyweights. RDR already have more fights in 1 year. I know, right? Than he ever got with one. 100%. Low IQ banger. Yuri Prochazka, Jamal Hill. Sick fight. I know that everybody hates. Oh shit! I know everybody hates Jamal Hill, but Yuri Prochazka does not have the best fight IQ, so he could. That's not an unwinnable fight for Jamal Hill, even though I'll be picking Yuri for sure in that one. So that will be like the featured fight. Merab versus Umar. I've been kind of going back and forth on this one. I think that I am going to root for Merab, but I'll probably end up having to pick Umar in that one, unfortunately. And then obviously the main event, Islam versus Arman. Really interesting is that if Islam defends his belt, I think he will be tied with. He'll either have the most title defenses for a lightweight champion or he'll be tied. And then he'll have a 15-fight winning streak in the UFC, which is just absolutely crazy. I think that Arman, this is his time if he's going to win the belt. I mean, and he is 5 years younger than Islam. That is a fantastic fight. Hard to pick. That's what you want, though. You don't want every fight on the card to be like, oh, I know exactly what's going to happen. So looking forward to this weekend. Give me your picks for that card. If not, looks like the chat's a little inactive. So if not, we'll wrap it up here soon. And I'm going to get back to making these questions for MMA Nerd. And again, we need more participants for MMA Nerd. So let me know how you guys are liking MMA Nerd. I think I'm gonna make a rule change to MMA Nerd. If it's like a numbered question, like name 4 fighters. I think what I'm gonna do is if both guys name 2, we're gonna just call it a draw and move on to the next question. And if nobody can name anybody, same thing. We'll call it a draw and move on to the next one. So, but yeah, no, man, I'm gonna try to do these every Monday. So I'll put a post up in the community tab. Ask for you guys' questions. We got 3 this time, so thank you for everybody who asked a question. Not all those people were here, but yeah, shout out to everybody who joined the chat. Looking forward to this UFC card. So tomorrow we will have a full breakdown of that card, give our picks, and Wednesday. As of Wednesday, it's kind of funny because, like, you know, Saturday right after the Fight Companion, it's me with the post show. Sunday, MMA Nerd. Monday, live chat. Tuesday will be our show, and then it's Hank Land from there. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Maybe Friday there will be a Fight Companion from me or Hank. But yeah, then you pretty much get Hank after Tuesday. So yeah, thank you everybody who joined. I think it's about time to
What the hell?
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that up, B.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Man, you want some too? You better wrap it up. You better wrap that gavel up, B.
Wrap it up. All right. Thanks again, everybody. We're out. Peace.